How much money per month do I need to live in Mexico? How much does it cost to live in Mexico per month? Monthly cost to live good in Mexico? Hi, broadcasting not live from Mazatlan, Mexico. I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. I've lived in Mexico for over 18 years now. For 12 of those years, I paid $400 or less for my rent. Rent has been my biggest expense in Mexico. My first 4 years in Mexico, I was paying way more than $400 a month. I was getting screwed. Of course, this video is all about how much money do you need to live in Mexico. You see many videos out there that say people are living in Mexico for $1,000 a month. Can you live in Mexico on $1,000 a month, or is $1,500 better, or is $2,000 better, or what about $2,500? When I moved to Mexico 18 years ago, I was a Mexico bigot. I didn't know anything about Mexico. I was paying $700 a month for a shack apartment. The owners were not Mexican. The owners had this shack and they lived in California. At that time, I didn't know that people lived really good in Mexico. I was very happy in that place. I didn't know any better. Then I found another place and I lived there for 3 years and I was paying $650 a month. It was a shack too, and it was owned by an American. Finally, I left that place and I found a luxurious apartment for $400 a month right in the middle of Puerto Vallarta, 10 blocks from the beach. That included security, video cameras for security, cable television, and electricity. It also included water. I lived in that place for 5 years and the rent never increased $400 a month. I didn't say it was fully furnished. I paid for my internet. The internet was costing me at that time $50 a month, which was way too high. So my total expenses for living pretty much were $450 a month. So I'm paying $450 a month. That leaves me with $550 a month to spend on other stuff. That means I could live in Mexico for $1,000 a month, living good. After living in Puerto Vallarta, I moved to GDL, Guadalajara, Mexico. Big city, lots of things to do, food to eat, and it was a wonderful place. To live there, I was paying $350 a month, and I was sharing a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house with a woman. On top of the $350 a month, I was paying for internet, utilities such as gas, electric, and water. Please leave a comment. Tell us what you think. And if you know someone that wants to move to Mexico and they need this information, click the share button, and why not click that like button? With those expenses, it took me up to about $425 a month. So with my rental and all the utilities, I was paying about $425 a month, and also that included sex. All the sex I could have in a fully furnished house with utilities and sex on demand. Then I moved to Chapala, and there my expenses in a brand new house were about the same, with all internet, gas, electric, water, the whole thing, about $425 a month, brand new house in Chapala, and sex too. All the sex I could have in a place to live. So all that time I'm spending about $450, $425 a month, leaving me with over $500 for groceries. That's all you really need in Mexico. Groceries, when you come to Mexico and you go to the grocery store, if you go to the vegetable markets, to the meat markets, when you leave there with everything you want, you will laugh because the prices are so low. I can't imagine spending $100 per month on food. I mean, that would just be, I think, too much. So now I'm in Mazatlan paying $650 a month. That covers everything except for electricity and that's it. I'm on the deck up here. You can see how nice it is. I have a nice apartment, fully furnished. So at $650 a month, that only leaves me $350 a month for other expenses. I'm a computer geek. I have computer expenses. So I'm thinking my comfort level goes from maybe $1,000 a month to maybe $1,500 a month. I run into many very wealthy Americans and Canadians that have moved to Mexico, and they have lots of money. They come down here and pay cash for like a $300,000 house, a $45,000 house, a $200,000 house. But many Americans and Canadians that I know come down here, most of them, and they rent for a place to live. So I'm going to say, if you look around, you find the right place, yes, you can live on $1,000 a month. Yes, you can live on $1,500 a month for sure, but you have to find the right rental property and get in so you're only paying $500 or less for your rent. We go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So click the subscribe button and you'll get a notification and you can join us with the fun of the joys of living in Mexico. Now you have to remember that the average per capita income for a Mexican is right around $10,000 a year. So people renting properties have to understand that Mexicans, they only make about $9,000 to $10,000 a year. Walmart has to remember that Mexicans only make between $9,000 and $10,000 a year, and all of their pricing has to work around that figure. Thus, prices overall are lower in Mexico. Now here's one thing that throws out that whole equation, and it's visa requirements. In the recent years, visa requirements have really changed. Last time I checked, which was like 3 days ago, the Mexican government, for you to get a 1-year visa, they want you to prove that you have $2,700 or $3,300 per month in income, that you can prove that you've had this income over a 6-month or a 12-month period, depending on what consulate you go to. That throws the $1,000 or $1,500 a month equation totally out of whack. So you can always come down, stay for 180 days, go back to the United States for a day, and then come back for 180 days. So can you live in Mexico for $1,000 or $1,500 a month? Yes, you can, but you got to find the right spot where the rent fee is just right. I'm going to say personally, my comfort level is like $2,000 a month. Then you can live like a king or a queen in Mexico. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have many more videos to come, so click that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.